It's a new year and a new chance for you to make a fresh start with your compliance. For the next 31 days on the FCPA Compliance Report, we're going to be bringing you a daily tip, strategy, or idea that you can use to improve your program. Here's your host, Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist.
This month's sponsor of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program is Affiliated Monitors. Founded in 2004, Affiliated Monitors provides professional, independent integrity monitoring and ethics and compliance assessments nationally and internationally and across almost all industries. With its knowledge of effective ethics and compliance programs and cultures, Affiliated Monitors is respected for its work as the corporate monitor on matters ranging from multinational corporations to small and mid-sized companies and even individuals. Having served in over 750 monitorships, no one has more experience as an independent monitor than the team at Affiliated Monitors. For more information on how an independent monitor can help improve your company's ethics and compliance program, visit this month's sponsor, Affiliated Monitors, at www.affiliatedmonitors.com. Over the next month, we will consider innovation and compliance from a variety of angles, including artificial intelligence, computer technology, or ComTech, structural innovations, tools and tactics, and innovation in leadership. This will provide you with a number of solid leads you can use to move your compliance program forward. Today, welcome to ComTech. What will be the role of AI in compliance going forward? LawTech has disrupted the legal profession, and it is now reshaping many areas of private legal practice. I believe there will be a ComTech industry lurking down the road with multiple implications for the compliance function and the compliance practitioner. Obviously, document review is one of the areas where ComTech will be the most useful. While there are many companies who provide keyword searches and the same concepts translate readily into the compliance world through massive database searches for keywords, such as in an ongoing review through email sweeps. The concept is straightforward. At regular intervals, you sweep through your company email base for identified keywords that can be flagged for further investigation if required. Such a sweep is not limited to anti-corruption compliance, but any of the risk factors identified for your company. The object of this approach is to find evidence of a compliance breakdown by sweeping systems to uncover items that may contain real issues. From there, you can assess and prioritize by checking and verifying if an issue needs investigating or focusing on the issues you want to investigate first. Further, if warranted, you can invoke your investigation protocol with all requisite protections and securities. AI can help you perform this more cheaply and more efficiently. Soon, compliance will be pushed to the forefront of AML as banking institutions and financial institutions and services continue to tighten and strengthen AML controls. Criminals and other nefarious actors will move into non-financial corporations to move money for the simple reason that such robust controls required in the financial and financial services world are not generally required in the commercial corporate world. Non-financial corporations should have robust AML controls in place, and one of the requirements for any best practices AML policy is to know your customer. AI will allow a more robust KYC approach. Another area where compliance is often left behind is in the arena of mergers and acquisitions. Since at least the 2012 FCPA guidance, the focus on compliance in M&A has been more and more on the pre-acquisition phase of a deal. Often the compliance function is either brought in at the last minute and does not have time to perform adequate compliance due diligence, or there is an overwhelming amount of data to be reviewed, and the resources available, or at least those made available to the compliance function, is woefully inadequate. AI can help in this area. There are companies which have software which allow thousands of documents to be reviewed in the M&A context. This review could include such issues as whether third-party sales representatives have the requisite due diligence in their files, their status, and commission rates paid. There could be a review of top sales and business development folks in high-risk regions correlated with gift, travel, and entertainment spend analysis. Finally, you could consider sales in high-risk regions or even sales spike from low-risk areas from the compliance perspective. Another prime area that AI can assist the compliance function is in third parties' supply chain management. Every multinational has literally thousands of vendors. Getting a handle on those is always a challenge simply because of the numbers involved. Using AI, a compliance practitioner can immediately identify vendors that present anti-corruption, compliance, or other risks to an organization. Having led an effort to list out all an employer's vendors by hand to begin the risk ranking process, I can personally attest to the greater efficiencies AI can bring to the exercise. There's yet another set of tools that AI can utilize to review contracts to see if specific types of clauses are non-standard. It would be a relatively easy software coding exercise to adapt such products to compliance clauses. This type of approach can also be used for non-standard governance in joint ventures and other type of business ventures agreements. Having been assigned the task of reading my then employer's 87 joint venture agreements and 211 third-party sales contracts from across the globe and recalling the amount of time it took to do so, I once again can personally attest to the greater efficiencies we are considering through the use of AI. This also points to a key disadvantage of AI and ComTech going forward. In prior years, it was thought a thorough review of documents and detailed reading of cases that many junior lawyers were trained. In my experience, reading all those JV and third-party sales agreements gave me a very good education in contract language and what positions were more or less favorable to each party. This is how many young associates were trained in law firms. This very practical method of training will eventually go away. A final example also points to a key limitation of ComTech. While it might have helped to have AI review the JV agreements and third-party sales agreements that only identify non-standard contract language. Unfortunately, since most of the agreements and contracts were bespoke, they were uniformly non-standard. Further, the assignment I was given required an analysis of each non-standard contract, so human judgment was required. What are today's three key takeaways? ComTech will disrupt the compliance profession. 2, document review will be the first significant area in ComTech. And 3, be aware of the limitations and disadvantages of ComTech. I hope you will enjoy the entire month on innovation and compliance in this month's offering of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program. If I could ask you to do so, would you pass on to at least one person this podcast series on the nuts and bolts of compliance as I'm trying to expand my audience base for 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow where I take up another topic in innovation and compliance. Thanks again for listening. 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.